we are going to run now the Yearman model. Again, I go to the right subdirectory. I look at Yearman 98.mod. It looks like the one I showed you. Let's see. I have two versions. By the way, in a mode file, if you put // in front of an instruction, it puts that instruction in command. So let's start, in fact, with the first order stock simul order equal 1 ERP1 RF1 R1. That will be enough for what we've done today. In the MATLAB editor, don't forget to save. As long as the file has been modified and not saved, you have a little star here. If you press Ctrl S, no, doesn't do it. Ctrl XS for me, it saves it and the little star disappear. So now if I do Dana Yearman 98, so what do I see? So I see that for expected risk premium, its constant is 0 and there is no effect from the state variable of the model. And it's not that surprising because you see that the decision rule for the risk-free rate and for the return on capital are identical. So it just confirms that at order 1, when we use a model characterized by certainty equivalent, such a model is completely unable to give account of an expected risk premium. So the result is trivial, and at order 1, we don't find any risk premium in that model. If now I use order 2 rather, I save it, and again, I bring it back the command with the upper arrow key, I run it again. And you see, we can, no, I'm going to show you different things. First, now, the effect of future risk on the constant is displayed in the line with parenthesis correction. It is equal to half of G sigma sigma in the slide. So now we see an amount for expected risk premium, and we see the correction is not the same for the risk-free rate and for the return on capital. There is a gap that corresponds to the risk premium because it's 0 for all other variables. In fact, with respect to the correction is slightly negative for the risk-free rate and positive for the return on capital. Now, the constant is the sum of the steady state and of the correction. So of course, the expected risk premium, in fact, is made, it's constant, is made only from the effect of a future uncertainty. It's not the case for the other variable. The other things remarkable is that at order 2, the expected risk premium is not affected by the state variable. As far as the state variable are concerned, you see first the linear effect, as in the report at order 1. Then you get all the cross terms. And again, remember, it's not here kt minus 1 times kt minus 1. It is kt minus 1 minus k bar, minus the steady state, multiplied by kt minus 1 minus k bar. And then you have the coefficient. Then you have for the shock and the cross effect, state, and shock, which are for those other variable have a certain value. If we look now at the theoretical moments, so the mean is corrected by the effect of future volatility, and you see with the calibration we fall back on we find again the result from Yearman, an average expected risk premium of 1.5% per quarter or 6 yearly. That's the main things to see. And then I'm not going to do it, but if you look at the impulse response function, which will be displayed when you run it, you will see that there is no impulse response function for expected risk premium because at order 1, the risk premium is constant. So now let's again modify the mode file to run it at order 3. So you remember, I already mentioned it, at order 3, we do not compute, we are not displaying the decision rule because there are just too many terms. And for the moment, we use simulation because we haven't yet the closed form solution for approximated moment. And here we use pruning. You can put it or not put it. You will see it doesn't change much to the result for this one. In other case, in other model, pruning may have more effect. I save the mode file and I run it. Now, because of pruning, no, not that much. So you see, we do not have the policy function coefficient anymore, but we have moment moment evaluated over 50,000 iteration. And you see that the mean is not much modified by the is not much modified by the third order approximation. And you see there is a little now the expected risk premium is moving, so it has a standard deviation and a little bit of kurtosis. If we look now at the impulse response function, we see that after a positive shock to total factor productivity, the expected risk premium is going to diminish a little. Look at the scale, it's at 10 at the power of -4. You divide by 10,000. And after 15 periods, it is back up at very close to the steady state. It makes sense with a positive shock to total factor productivity. The economy is temporarily richer, and therefore the bad consequence of variation of total factor productivity play relatively less role than in a poorer economy. But then, of course, after the shock, the economy comes down to the steady state level and that effect dissipates. This terminates the discussion of the Yearman model.